Well, it's a little windy today, but I finally got time off to do exactly what I wanted with the car. And by the car, I mean the dusty FD. Looks like a barn find right now. But on today's episode, we're going to get rid of the stock seat and replace it with the Recaro pole position I got for a smoking deal. So I picked up this pole position for a smoking deal. It was like $500 for the seat and the side brackets and sliders. So it looked really cool. These used to be in an Evo 8. I don't remember. It was in an Evo. They're all the same anyways. But I think we're gonna try to hammer out these brackets, make them work with the sliders, and if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna fabricate something for the bottom, because the stock FD seat, actually, you can barely see it, but it's flat in the back, and then if you go to the front, it's just slightly angled. So those are like really crammed in there. The seats are like pretty low from the factory, which is kind of baffles me. And the only thing I'm curious about is the clearance over here, because when you shut the door, this is like almost touching the side of the seat. It actually touches down here, if you can believe that. This spot right here and this spot right here. So hopefully that'll change with the new seat, and it'll definitely hold me in better. I hope it's more comfy too, because that used leather is pretty old. Stock seat just has 5 bolts. It's got a little weird reinforcement deal on there, or whatever that is, but let's pull it out. Look at all that. I haven't ever pulled the stock seat out of here, and looks like it's a little messy. This being the most dangerous things. Little splicer. A marble, I'm not sure how marble gets in there. Hey, just a bunch of crap. Not that bad. Some jackass stuck all these wires back there for his water meth and his stereo. Who even uses stereo these days? Here's like a little spring. Is that like mouse bait? What is that? Ugh. It's definitely gonna get a cleaning. That's gross. Now I thought this would be an interesting bit for everybody, just to see the comparison between the two seats. So obviously the Recaro is sitting lower because it doesn't have the brackets on it, but without the brackets, the seat is just as tall as the OEM seat, which is really nice, because I always have a problem to where the bottom of my, like the back of my head, rests on top of these, and sitting in this seat, this is above my head, which is really nice. My Corbos don't do that in the Integra, and if I could just give you guys some measurements real quick. So across here, say in the middle, that's about 11 inches. You go over to the pole position, it's only about, say, 10 inches, 10 and a half maybe. It's a lot more narrow. Seating, bottom is a foot, and over here, well, this is actually wider. This is about 14 inches. So you gain a little bit more clearance on the bottom somehow. When you sit in a pole position, it feels very narrow. I think that's because of the side bolstering, and because this doesn't have as much. But if I had a scale, I'd show you guys the weight. But I can already tell you that this is way heavier than the pole position. The pole position you can lift up one hand. I mean, no problem. It's like, it's got to be maybe like 7-8 pounds tops. It's unreal. So unfortunately, the seat was too wide, so we have to go to our front shop, which has all the cool stuff in it, to fix this problem. And well, it traced out the brackets. I just used basically just used the side mounts to go straight down, and then over here I'm gonna have basically 2 inches, so where it'll go in instead of out, like the like the brackets that came with the seat will. So this piece will be welded to this piece, and then they'll bolt into the bottom bracket that goes in the that actually goes to the car. And I'll figure out where those holes go later when I get them all cut out. But it's really thick stuff, unfortunately. I know John's gonna give me crap for it. It's all about weight reduction, but I don't have aluminum and it's Sunday, so yeah, having some major weight issues. But let's get to cutting and see how everything works. Alright, so after actually pulling out my hair, see what I did there? Welded up so much crap. So originally I made these plates, as y'all saw, this one, and the bottom one. Well, it turned out that it wasn't going to work with how the bottom bolt was going to mount. And so I decided to just put some square tube on there, raise it up an inch. That worked. The bending came out great. Just used a torch and a hammer for that on the vise. What else? There's not really much to say. Just tack these in, the bottom plates, together when it was in the car. Thank God I didn't set it on fire. Figure out where I wanted this, and then what else happened? One of these broke off after I had it all tacked together, trying to put it in and stuff. And so one was in. I was able to bolt everything together, then actually like weld it together. And then this stupid thing was just, it was out too far because there's no room in that stupid car. But this is out of the way now. It actually fits through this hole if you get it like in the right spot. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in. I would have filmed it all, but it's literally been over a 12-hour job just to make these. Just because everything was rusty originally and like nothing worked, and I had to walk back 100 frickin' times. But yep, all these wires to deal with. Gonna feed the seatbelt through there. Do it somewhat proper. I found the holes, these four bolts are all the same. The one that was back here is different, but the four that you need are actually M10 by 1.25 thread pitch. And I had to buy slightly longer ones because that's alright. Because these little stock ones are too small for the thickness of the plate that I had, so I bought one that was longer. Yeah, anyways, let's put it in. Alright, so she's in, boys. Look at that clearance. Look at that clearance. That's like 2 finger widths up. She's solid. She ain't going anywhere. And yeah, so just 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Get the seat belt through there. It's gonna go through that other hole. I tell you what, this has been easily the worst project of my life. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I spent 6 hours the first day, I believe. Yeah, 6 hours the first day, and then among 2 other days it was like another
4 hours or so. So that's like 10 hours, and then plus today was another 6.5. And that's way too much. But for these cars, they just simply don't have no one makes seat brackets for the Motorsport edition of the pole position. Now the Spirit R's, those are just bolt-in solutions, but because this one was such a deal, I picked this one. It looks good and stuff, but man, I'm never going through that hell again. So I like my Hondas, they're so much easier. So much easier. Everything just works. But, man, I'll have some sushi and stuff and probably cry just a little bit and drown my sorrows in alcohol or whatever people do. But yeah, I guess till next time. See you guys later.